So I'm back already with my second ever proper YouTube video. I was originally going to leave a bit more space in between videos, but I thought with today being a Thursday and the next obviously weekend of qualifying starting on a Friday, if I didn't post this video any later than today, it would or could start getting a little bit confusing to people on which exact weekend I'm speaking about. Anyway, let's get straight back into the games. Now, for those of you that did watch part 1, which was of course my first ever proper YouTube video, will know that going into these games I'm on 21 wins out of 21, which of course leaves me with the opportunity to get a 40 out of 40. But however, at this point I do decide to change formations to the 4-3-1-2. All I'll do for this is I tell the strikers to get in behind and the fullbacks to stay back. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you watching this sat there thinking, hang on, why would you change your formation at 21 wins out of 21? Like, it's impossible it could have gone any better. That's true, but the only real answer I've got for that is I am a bit of a perfectionist, and if you did watch the first half of this video, you'll have seen there was quite a few games where I went a goal down. I really struggled. I was winning 3-2, 2-1. There was a few games I didn't include in the video because I didn't have any highlights where I did only win 1-0, 2-1, and just with the 4-3-1-2, I feel personally that does give me a bit more balance in it. I find it easier to win games and to score goals. Something I do just quickly want to go over is the whole skill point / skill rating things. I did see a few people asking me, what the deal was. Why did I need to wake up early on a Friday in order to get, skill points? And this is how it is. The way the matchmaking works, it tries to match you up with someone with a similar amount of wins. So if you win a few games early on a Friday, and it's going to match you someone with a similar amount of wins, the chances are they're going to be a better opponent because they haven't had as much time to get them wins. Whereas if you started on a Saturday, say you got a 10 wins, you could play someone with 10 wins, but they could have already lost 20 already because they've had a full day to play the games. So overall, it's harder to play your games on a Friday, but you also get more skill points. Anyway, back into the games, and I do believe this is the first bit of trouble we come into in this half of the video. This guy was called Abu Gamer YouTube, something like that. Picks the ball up on the edge of the box of Ronaldo here and finesses one straight in the top corner, which is not what you want to happen when you're 29-0. But luckily, pretty much straight from kick-off, I do pick up the ball with Suarez, thread Griezmann through, who how do you say this? He hits a driven shot across goal, and it's an easy goal. Then pretty much again, just from the kick-off, I take the ball off him, I pass it into Bale, another driven shot, and the keepers just do not save these driven shots. I mean, if you've got the ball under control and you can hit a good driven shot across the keeper, 9 times out of 10 it will go in. 29th minute, pick the ball up with Pogba and smash another in from 30 yards, and at this point I'm thinking that's pretty much game over, but however it wasn't to be. I chip one out at the edge of the box here. Pogba doesn't fancy jumping for it, he just lets him pass it inside. He turns me with Blassie, smashing at the corner, but luckily that was the last action of this game. Next opponent, and we do come up against yet again our favourite opposing formation, the 4-3-3 attack. However, in this game I do manage to get a quick lead. Nice Berber spin by Griezmann, and Bale finesses it into the top corner. So I was thinking at this point, is it going to be one of them games where I don't struggle against 4-3-3? And who was I kidding? Because Vardy shields Ramos, spins and smashes it in the bottom corner, which made me start to think, yep, I'm going to have troubles again. Even more so after this happens. 1 rebound, 2 rebound, 3 rebound, passes it back to Payet, who smashes it into the top corner, and I'm thinking, yep, nice one, this is not going to be fun. Luckily for me, a terrible goal kick by him just before half time lets Griezmann slip Bale through it again, hits a driven shot that will always go in as long as you've got the ball under control. Now this is where I get a bit of luck. I get 1 rebound to Marcelo, another rebound to Bale, Bale gets through, driven shot yet again, bottom corner in off the post, and I've managed to turn it round. 66th minute now, Nainggolan passes it through to Modric, who plays it at Pogba, driven shot across goal, 4-2, and I'm not going to lose from this situation. But just to cap it off, 78th minute, Bale just running into space. He's that obsessed with trying to cut the pass off, like I've said before, driven shot, and that was that. Next up was this guy, and this probably was the toughest opponent I came up against all weekend. You can see his team pretty decent, Martial, Bale, Kante, but pretty much straight from kick-off he intercepts with Kante, who I don't think I have trouble playing against anyone more than I do Kante. Slips it through to Banyeda, terrible defending as per by me. He smashes it into the top corner. and runs around like an idiot for a good 5 or 10 seconds. Luckily though, I get a very lucky equaliser just from kick-off. I scoop him in the box, I get one rebound, falls back to Bale, another rebound falls back to Bale and heads it into the empty net, which is quite lucky because for the rest of the half I did not create a single chance, and I didn't create another chance in the game until this moment. Suarez intercepts, slips Ronaldo in, and that was the only highlight of this game. Next opponent we come up against was Reece George 97, another decent team. Got that player of the month Dele Alli, and as you can see 34 wins no losses, and I am getting a little bit nervous at this stage. Not helped when he gets a double nutmeg on Ramos and Suarez to put himself 1-0 up. Now this guy was one of the better people I played all week, and I really struggled to make chances all half, just until just close, coming up to half time. Bale puts one in the bottom corner to give me an undeserved 1-1 lead. In this game I did change formation at half time back to the diamond, and it paid off because Ronaldo here sends Eric Bailey for a paper, puts it in the bottom corner, and we are 2-1 up in a very close game. Getting the ball here with Hazard, he tries to pass it, bounces back to him, feeds it in an angle, and who feeds it into Bale, puts it in the bottom corner, and at 3-1 with 16-17 minutes remaining, there is no chance I am losing this game. But I do manage to make it safe here, anyway, even safer than it already was. As Bale bursts through, he sends Kyle Walker to the gym and smashes it in the top corner, and we are 35 wins, no losses. And so our next opponent, DZ Arnold, opponent at 37 wins no losses, not the best team. He's got the man of the match Walcott, he's got the player of the month Kane, and early signs were he wasn't very good. I was making chances at will, I was dominating, I went 1-0 up. However, this is where things started to go painfully wrong. As you see here, that goal looked a bit strange to me. I was thinking, that something didn't look right. So I waited for him to finish dabbing me so I could watch the replay. And when the replay comes up, as you'll see, it takes a horrible deflection and goes straight through De Gea's legs, or straight past his leg. Would he have saved it anyway? I'm not sure. But anyway, we get straight back into it now. Suarez is going to feed Griezmann, who shrugs Chris Smalling off and bangs a driven shot across goal. And again, I'm thinking to myself at this point, 40, surely, 40 wins, no losses. I'm going to do it on the first weekend doing YouTube. However, the game didn't fancy it and decided to give him a penalty for absolutely nothing. I didn't press a button, all I did was run after the ball, and it gets even better here when he takes the penalty. I guess bottom right, and De Gea jumps straight over the ball. So at this point, the game has done me over 3 times. He's had the lucky deflected goal, he's had the penalty for nothing, he's had my keeper diving over the penalty, and I'm still managing, to find ways to get back in front. I slice him open yet again, make it 3-2. I'm thinking, right now, all I need to do is play a bit more defensively and keep it tight. However, did not quite go to plan, as yet again something, I don't want to say bullshit, but what is that? How is Kante with 65 finishing managing to hit that across goal? A chance I would miss with Ronaldo a lot of times. And in the 84th minute, I'm just going to let you watch this. What can you say about that? Walcott and Team of the Air Ramos run into each other on the edge of the box. Both stumble, then Walcott gets stuck on Ramos into the box, falls over, and he gets his second computer penalty of the game. And sadly, that is where we pick up our first loss of the weekend. As you can imagine, going into my final game on 38 wins, 1 loss, I've really lost all my motivation and care. All I can think about is how undeserved that win was, how much I feel the game screwed me over, how much all 4 of his goals on another day wouldn't have went in. It would have been a 3-4-0 comfortable win for me. I can't think about how the guy wasn't very good. He was a really average player. It's just one of them things I just cannot get out of my head. I checked the leaderboard before the game. I had high skill rating than the guy who was in first, meaning if I'd have won that game and won my 2 remaining games, this video would also have been about how I finished first in the world for this particular week. So as you can imagine, I was pretty annoyed, but it wasn't meant to be, and what better way to cheer myself up than in my final game smashing Leeds, when I think this guy's name was Leeds best, something like that. Driven shot just before half time makes him quit, and we do finish on 39 wins and 1 loss for this week. And after the weekend is done and dusted, I do end up finishing actually as low as 15th in the world, when if I'd have won that one game I'd actually be sitting in first. But what can you do? Here's the more important information anyway. Let's see where I am in Europe after 2 weeks, and there I am, 25th in Europe, far away from where I need to be, but only 1 win away from 8th place. And so that is the end of my second YouTube video. Obviously a bit of a disappointing end, but 39 wins, 1 loss isn't the end of the world, and I am sitting in a bit of a healthy position going into the final 3 weeks. You know, another 39 or 40 next week, and I should be closing in on the top 10 in you, which is where I need to be to qualify for the regional. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video and you've enjoyed my first video, please like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully be bringing something similar to you all next week.